What's the crack, guys? It is Tuesday. It is May the 14th, and this is the Fangirl reading vlog number 3. Last 2 days haven't been the best because from last week's reading vlog, you'll know that I lost my dog a few days ago, and I'm back to work, and I hate it. Work has just been shit. Well, more shit than usual. So I've just been in a really foul mood, and I just don't want to deal with anybody or anything. But I'm just like starting this on Tuesday because I didn't really have anything to update on Monday. I just went to work, I took a nap, went to the gym, watched TV. Didn't do really anything of interest. I didn't even do much reading, and I just figured just start it on Tuesday. It's already like 20 past 6 in the evening. I again didn't feel like updating, but then I remembered that I finished a book today. So I finished the audiobook for Fangirl by Rainbow Royal. It was cute. I enjoyed it. Gave it 4 stars. I really identified with Kath in some things, and especially in the last 2 days when I was listening to it, I really understood her because I had like the same problem with writing. She couldn't create a world. She didn't want to create a world, or she just didn't feel like she had the imagination to create a world, and I have the same issue. A lot of people ask me, that I know, would you not think of writing a book? Because like I read so much, and I'm very creative and that, but I'm more of a manipulator than a creator. I manipulate what's already there. When I wrote fan fiction, I manipulated the OC, I manipulated Sanctuary, I pretty much still manipulate Sanctuary in terms of graphics. I just cannot create. And even when I did try to create things, like for high school and for creative writing at university, I kind of used elements of what was already there. I used like names here and names there. A lot of writers say that the character names just came to them. The characters told them their names. I was just like, no, I want to use this name, and this name because they meant something to me. So I related to Kath on that level. I related to the whole cannot create, I manipulate aspect of writing. That's what made it very much enjoyable for me. I think I might have enjoyed it a bit more had I physically read it. I listened to the audiobook because I don't own it. Sometimes I like to listen to the audiobook of a book that I want to read, but I don't own yet. The narrator does like a decent job. She does a decent job, but at times, she's just like flat to me personally. She says things in a way that I didn't think it should have been said, if that makes sense. Would I listen to an audiobook narrated by her again? Probably not. But for all intents and purposes, it was an audiobook. It got me through work in the mornings. It was fine. In terms of my physical read, I am on The Real Kate by Charlotte Chandler. I am currently on page 173. This biography is a lot different to the A. Scott Berg biography in that Scott Berg was recalling his 20-year friendship with Katharine Hepburn, and then put her stories chronologically in order from, from when she was a child to when she eventually passed away. Charlotte Chandler has a completely different approach to this biography. It is pretty much told by Katharine Hepburn. It's like she's just typed out the entire dictaphone and then broke up what she has said by adding in quotes from other people, like directors, other co-stars, like James Stewart or Cary Grant or Ginger Rogers, those kinds of people, and they just like intersperse it, and then she adds in a little historical fact here and there. So that makes it very different from any other biography that I have read before. It reads wonderfully. I really love learning things directly from Katharine Hepburn, and it's not being kind of manipulated so that it makes a different sentence. It's like straight from the horse's mouth. Actually a bit over halfway through. There's a collection of photographs just here, so then I've already looked at those, so we'll be reading them again. And then at the back there's an index and a rundown of all of her films. I also have some new books to show you. These are all like 3 different kind of runs of this series. I found these on eBay because I really wanted the hardback editions of this series. So I got Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. I 100% expected this to come with a dust jacket. It did not. I looked at the original posting of the seal. It just said that the photo was used for display purposes, but like it was ridiculously cheap. It was like £3, so like I could even design my own dust jacket and put it on it. That's always an option. Also got Ink Spell, which is the second book, and this came with its dust jacket, and it is green underneath. I love the dust jacket of this one. It is gorgeous. And then of course I got Ink Death, but this is actually just the pure hardback. It's not even a dust jacket, it is just the hardback is actually just printed. The spine is kind of cracked here. A little bit of glue, it'll do. Like, these were seriously discounted on eBay. They were going like for $12.99. Then I just looked on eBay randomly and it went down to like $2.99. I can see why, but I'm not going to complain because they look gorgeous, and then it gives me an excuse to maybe create my own dust jacket. I have looked for just the dust jacket, but I haven't found anything yet. So that is the update for today. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is the evening, as you can probably tell by the lighting. I probably have maybe a few minutes of golden hour, as they say. But I just thought it would be nice ambience to have my lights on in the background. Nothing really exciting today. I was at work. Near bit everybody that came near me. I was just in no mood at all. Then I came home and I did something exciting. I'm gonna be getting a tattoo. Yes. I'm booked in for Friday, so I'm getting a tattoo in memory of Millie and really in memory of my dad as well. I kind of liked this idea for Millie, just a wee paw print with a heart. And then for my dad, since I'm a Virgo and he was a Virgo, I wanted this like star sign of the Virgo, if you can make that out. And since it resembles an M, I figured that it would kind of suit a plethora of things. M's and K's seem to follow me around in my entire life, so thought that was very fitting for a first tattoo. So I'm going to get it on the inside of my wrist here. I didn't want it there, but I wanted it there so anytime I reached my hand out for something, I would see them. Very excited, very nervous, but mostly excited. Like, I know there's going to be like obviously pain, but to be perfectly honest, no needle pain could really be worse than the pain of losing Millie. So that's the news for today. I did some reading. I haven't picked up any audiobook yet because I'm waiting for my Audible credit to come in. I have to wait till the 24th, I think. Still no idea what I want to listen to. I never do. I always go in kind of like blind and like think, oh, something will hit me up the face, and usually it does. In terms of physical read with the Katharine Hepburn biography, I'm on page 239. I just passed where Spencer Tracy passes away, so I'm almost finished. After I finish this, I'm not sure if I want to pick up the big biography book by William J. Mann, mostly because I just got an email today about the dispatch of Kate Mulgrew's second memoir, and that should be here in a couple of days. So I really don't want to commit myself to a book that thick when I know that as soon as Kate Mulgrew's memoir arrives, everything will be superseded and I will be grabbing that book regardless of what I am reading at the time. I will be going straight in for How to Forget. So I have a couple of options that I wanted to maybe pick up instead. First one being Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, because it can actually tick 2 boxes for fangirl criteria, because Katharine Hepburn was in an adaptation of it, and so was Kirsten Dunst, and I'm a fan of both of them, so I might read that. It might give me the perfect excuse to actually read it, because A, I forgot that Katharine Hepburn was in an adaptation of it, and B, I kind of forgot that I had it. Reader problems. So I may do that, or I may continue with East of Eden where I pretty much left off when I read it the first time around and just kind of set it down. Personally, I'm kind of leaning more towards Little Women because it is so fresh in my mind that Katharine Hepburn played Jo. But then again, I did love Jane Seymour as Kathy. So, I don't know. I shall see how I feel once I finish this. And I also bought a book. I probably shouldn't have bought it because this is like the 4th book in the series. But it was for £1. Could not resist it. And that was Inferno by Dan Brown. I've kind of wanted to read the Dan Brown books, you know, the Da Vinci Code books. Never really had the inkling towards them. But since this was £1, and just look at what this looks like underneath the dust jacket. Like, seriously? And the end papers are stunning as well. Like, oh my god. And this was £1. But I'm a sucker. And this technically also could be fangirl worthy because Janeway mentions Dante's Inferno in the season 7 episode Shattered. That's what I keep telling myself. There's nothing else to really talk about. I've updated you on my reading. Don't know what audiobook I want to pick up next. And I'm getting the tattoo. Exciting times. I think I'm just going to read more of The Real Kate, watch a bit of TV, listen to a bit of music, and I'll update you guys tomorrow. Everything's just falling. Stop falling. Do not fall. What's up, guys? It is Thursday. Since starting this week's vlog on a Tuesday, I've been confused as to what day it is. When I'm at work, I'm fine. I know exactly what day it is, but it's not until I actually turn this camera on that I'm like, what day is it? It is Thursday. So I finished The Real Kate by Charlotte Chandler. I gave it 4 stars. Despite it being relatively similar to the biography that I read previously by A. Scott Berg, at times it was confusing as to who was actually speaking. You know, she would just like mention somebody's name and then go into their whole story of how they knew her and they had this anecdote to tell about her. And then next thing you know, it's back to Katharine Hepburn talking, and I was like, when did that happen? It was slightly confusing. But I think if I concentrated a little bit more, I probably could have grasped it a lot faster. But nevertheless, it was still very enjoyable. I still didn't get the same personality that came forward from the A. Scott Berg one. Don't get me wrong, there were still plenty of moments where Katharine Hepburn's sassiness and personality really came through in some of her quotes. I will say that in about the last 50 pages, my attention did drift because it didn't seem to be so much about her than recollecting what had already been said in the first section of the book. It was still a great read, and I think any fan of Katharine Hepburn should give it a go. So that leaves me onto a dilemma, what to read next. Like, should I go on to the big biography that is more definitely a biography and not a recollection of what Katharine Hepburn has said or somebody's friendship with her? But I have 2 options in front of me, and I think I could potentially get to both of them before Kate Mulgrew's memoir gets here. I am hoping. I have 2 books in front of me. Could I do it? I might challenge myself. The first one is The Battle of Beta Z by Charlotte Douglas and Susan Kearney. I have read this one before and I really, really liked it. Like, look at the height of it compared to this book. Like, it's near half the size of it. It'd help if I put it right there. Yeah, it's like literally about half the size of it. Considering how quickly I read the Gateways books, I could potentially read this very quickly, and considering that I have read it before and I know I really enjoyed it and it is quite a fast-paced book from what I remembered, I will probably definitely get to this and make this my last kind of like Star Trek read of the month. And then pick up Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Katharine Hepburn played Jo in one of the first adaptations of this book in like the 1920s. 1933, so she was in her 20s. It wasn't in the 20s, she was in her 20s. So, yep, those are my 2 reads for now. So we shall get to that. First things first, I'm actually going to go workout because I'm not going to have a chance to go to the gym tomorrow because I'm getting my tattoo tomorrow. I was going to go to the gym today, but then I fell asleep and stayed asleep longer than I planned to. I had set an alarm. I was going to just get up and go to the gym, but then I just fell asleep again. Because that's what happens when you use a timer instead of an alarm. Because timers don't have snoozes. Finish this. Gonna read these. Gonna go work out. So, it's Friday, and I did a thing. Got my tattoo. It's a bit awkward to show you like this, so I'll put an inserted clip here as I talk. It was so painless. Oh my god, I could not get over how like very painless it was. Like, that's not even in English. There was nowhere near the amount of pain that I was expecting, you know, from a tattoo, because it's like, it's a fucking needle, right? Nothing. Plucking my eyebrows was worse pain than this tattoo. Granted, there might have been a point where he was doing like this part of the heart where I was like, ow. But even then it was like nothing. How is that? And like, people were like saying, oh, there's going to hurt because it's at the bone. And I was like, I honestly felt like somebody was drawing on my arm with a pen. Or, you know what it felt like? It just felt like somebody was drawing on me with a really sharp pencil. That's basically how it felt. I could have like sat there all day and just let him like draw all over my arm and I wouldn't have cared. You know, it was just so painless. It was just like this little twig niggle. It was unreal. Definitely going to get another one at some point. If I had like the balls to do it, I would love to get like a Starfleet comm badge, you know, like in Star Trek, you know, the Voyager one. Just like get it kind of like there on the chest, but I think that would be overkill just to get, you know, where they have it on their uniform. I think that would be kind of weird. But, you know, when they have it hidden, you know, like on their wrist or something, you know, up their sleeve, that would be kind of cool, you know, just like there underneath the watch so that it's not seen all that often. I can cover it if I wanted to. That's an idea. So that's in the back pocket. I love it. My anxiety was kind of like saying, should you have got the Virgo symbol on the other side? No, anxiety. This is where it is. Should you have got it a bit smaller? No, anxiety. It is the perfect size. Shut the fuck up. In terms of reading, I started Battle of Beta Z last night. I'm on page 66. I forgot how much I love this book. Thank you, son, for coming out. No, wrong way. It centers around Diana, and obviously because Beta Z, I forgot how much she is so good in this. I would have loved this storyline for Diana in the series, or even, you know, this as a movie. It says it takes place 2 months after the Deep Space Nine episode Tears of the Prophets, which is the end of season 6 into season 7, and a few months before the events of Star Trek Insurrection. I don't really know where Insurrection fits in with the Dominion War, because like I was pretty sure that the Dominion War was over by Insurrection because it was never mentioned. And you think, you know, with the war being on, they wouldn't be like try to relocate the Baku. I know that right now this is probably going to be a 5-star read. So that is the update for today. Very exciting day. Very good day. It's also like the 1 week anniversary of Millie's passing, and that's why I thought it was like just so fitting that I got this tattoo on that day. Yeah, I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow probably. So I'll see you in about half a second. So it is now Sunday, and I thought that I would just wrap up this reading vlog here because I didn't really do anything yesterday, and I'm not going to be doing much for the rest of the day because I'm just going to probably read a little bit, edit this vlog, and probably just like pass out because I'm really tired today for whatever reason. But I finished the Battle of Beta Z today. I loved this so much. I give this 5 stars. It is basically everything that I wanted for Diana from the series, and it put the Enterprise into a Dominion battle. and you never really saw them do anything related to the Dominion, never even heard them really mentioned. I actually found out that insurrection was said during the Dominion War, and it was just subtly mentioned in the script, and I was like, well, why didn't they kind of come outright with it? Why did they go with something unrelated to the Dominion when they could have really, really put the Enterprise right into it? Was it because it came after First Contact, and First Contact was really battle heavy and really in your face, whereas Insurrection was a bit more underhanded and very much like what Next Generation stood for? I don't know. This would have made an amazing episode of Next Generation, or even DS9. This would have been great to kind of feature them in it, just to bring in the Enterprise, you know, just for an episode and then be done with it, because the Defiant is involved in this. Worf is included, Chief O'Brien's included, a whole new station is included, and so they really realistically could have made this into an episode because all the sets were there, the whole cast is there. Why not? They really could have gone with that, but loved it. So that was the last book that I read this week. The first one that I finished was The Real Kate by Charlotte Chandler. This is the biography of Katharine Hepburn, which I gave 4 stars. And I also listened to an audiobook. I finished listening to Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, which I gave 4 stars. So I had a very good reading week. Got through 3 books. I've actually started reading Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, but I'm only just reading that for today because I am hoping that my Kate Mulgrew How to Forget memoir will arrive tomorrow, so that's just filling in for today. Once that arrives, I will be reading it. So that might be the subject of the next vlog, which will be the final one for this month. I might continue them up. If you want me to keep doing these types of reading vlogs, let me know. I might do them kind of sporadically, you know, if there's a theme, you know, like for How to Forget, or if I do like another fangirly read. I'm not certain, but we will see what happens. That's pretty much everything for this vlog. It was pretty much my first week without Millie, and it's the week that I got my tattoo, which looks amazing without the wrapping and everything on it. I absolutely love it. I keep looking at it and I'm like, it feels like it's been there forever. Do not regret it at all, because it stands for Millie and my dad, and that's exactly why I wanted it, and I got it for the right reasons. So other than that, that's all for this week, and I will see you next week with the last one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!